So some of the most powerful organizations in the world are not governments, they're so-called NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and they control policy in a lot of places. Now, some of them are pushing for race-based medical care. Aaron Sibarium is an associate editor at the Washington Free Beacon and has charted this shocking trend. He joins us. So, Aaron, thanks so much for coming on. So, can you be specific for us? What do you mean race-based medical treatments? What are they pushing for?
A couple months ago, a doctor at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston named Michelle Morse proposed offering preferential care based on race to Black and Latino patients. Specifically, she said that there would be a preferential admissions option at the hospital's cardiac care specialist for those patients. Now, it's not clear that that's actually gone anywhere at the hospital, but Morse has certainly gone somewhere. She is now the chief medical officer of New York City, where she will be overseeing New York City's entire hospital system.
This would seem to violate the fundamental tenet of American society, which is you don't intentionally try and hurt people or kill people because of their skin color. Yeah, how can this be legal in this country?
Oh, well, there's a straightforward answer. It's not, and they acknowledge as much. In the proposal, Dr. Morse says explicitly this might violate our colorblind system of law, probably in reference to the Civil Rights Act. So, no, it's not legal, but they just don't care.
I mean, if you wanted to convince people that there was some organized effort to kill them, and you don't want to convince people that, you don't want it to be true, but you would say stuff like this, wouldn't you?
Look, so, you know, what they will say is that this is about rectifying healthcare disparities, and healthcare disparities do exist.
Yes.
But instead of just acknowledging and addressing the disparities through race-neutral means, which I think people of all, you know, goodwill would support,
yes,
they're not just saying that, they're saying we should address it through racial discrimination, and they're quite explicit about this. All the documents they cite, critical theorists, the works, they're all quite explicit about this assumption.
So when you punish people because of the color of their skin, something they can't control, none of us can, in a healthcare setting, I mean, what you're basically saying is some people's lives are more valuable than others. You're saying that out loud.
Well, yeah, and I'll give you a good example. So in Vermont, recently, they said that people of color, specifically Black, Indigenous, and people of color, they use that acronym, they could get the coronavirus vaccine before white people. And by the way, your initial segment was on, you know, the GOP being out of step with its voters. Well, you know, it was a Republican governor who actually went along with that.
Yeah. Well, as is so often the case, but that's not even a partisan question. That's a moral question. I mean, that's immoral, and we should say so. And I appreciate your reporting on this. Everyone ignores it, and you didn't, so thank you.